Hey YouTube, it's that suburban garden permaculture style guy, and we're just going to talk about mulberry trees real quick, because I was incorrect in the past. My free mulberry tree is in fact a male mulberry tree. As it turns out, there are in fact male and female mulberries. I had never researched it far enough to know that. Trying to look at varieties of mulberries for sale, they don't specifically say, well, these are female mulberries that make fruit. They just say, you know, mulberries for sale. So it doesn't really lead you to know that there's a male and a female of the kind. So this one is a male. It produced all the catculls, the little pollen things that kind of look like the berries are going to make, but they don't, and then they all fall off because they're just male pollen sacs. Aw, wah, 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 wah. So the free mulberry produced no mulberries. However, let me jump to the other one. As mentioned before, there are several wild mulberries that have been deposited by birds. That is one. The one we just looked at, the big one. There's one right here in front of my shed, which if it was something cool, I was going to, I thinned it out. I used to have 2 stalks. I'm going to try to get it up and going this way, create some shade in the afternoon. Well, and the other one is inside of my big garden because I want a tree to kind of shade it because, again, it's baking out here. I'm just cooking. And there's one over by the chicken coop. That turned out to be a male. That big one right there, that big giant monster going all around my patio is a male. Darn it. Well, that might not be a bad thing. That might be a blessing because all those, you know, berries will be falling on your patio. That might be bad. But are any of these things going to produce fruit? I mean, that's terrible. I was like, oh, man, I thought I was going to get some free mulberries out of the deal. Well, as it turns out, I did get some females. Yay! Look at this little thing. This little thing has berries on it. So this is a female. Yay! She's got little berries. That's awesome. So I get the berries way over here, which is kind of cool. It's by my blueberries. The mockingbirds can have these. They should not be having those, right? So let's say, hey, I got blueberry or my mulberries. Yeah, this one we didn't find anything on it yet. So if we could find, I didn't see it put out male flowers. I didn't see it put out anything. But then again, I didn't notice those. Actually, the wife found those. I didn't actually spot them, and she spotted some other ones. So I don't know if this one is or not yet. And that's going to be interesting. But this one, oh, and by the way, look at the new arch. Everybody else has been doing arches, so we got jealous. And was like, oh my God, we can do an awesome arch. Look at that. Yeah. But then we come to this one. We were in here working, and this thing has been run over by I've tried to kill this for 2 or 3 years. I ripped it apart by the roots, trying to jerk it out. You know, it's holding and resisting, and that's why it's torn into all these heads. And I finally said, forget it, because, you know, this does cook in the sun every year. I was like, well, this might not be a bad thing. And then, bam, Christina notices it's got mulberries. And we ate some off of it last night. So it's a female, yay! Free mulberries. I did not have to buy a mulberry tree, as it turns out. And this little sucker is doing great. She's got mulberries. I'm excited. Free mulberries. So the male didn't work out. Obviously, the big one didn't work out, which might be a blessing in disguise. Because, again, it won't be dropping all this mess all over our patio. Now, we already pulled some off. But this is cool. It's a female. It's a girl. Hey, everybody, it's a girl. But yeah, little mulberries. So very, very, very excited about that. So again, another scenario where I'm going to have a giant fruiting mulberry, dripping mulberries into my big gardens. That's going to be kind of awesome. And again, didn't plant this tree. The big giant willow, it just showed up on its own. We had a pool there for forever. It came out where the water always leaked. Willows love water. And now there's no pool, so it's making it. So I just wanted to show you that. And this one over here, we haven't seen any flowers on that. Here's the great thing. I bought a grafting tool over the winter. I should tell you a squeeze type. I'll show you later. I'm going to see. I want to know if these are male or female, first of all. Like, if I could determine it, that's one thing. But in the meantime, I can graft some of these female branches onto any of these if they turn out to be male. And once that female graft starts to go, I can then cut off all the male parts above it, and then it'll regrow basically as a female with a male trunk. And that's fine, too. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, so wanted to show you all that. There's been a lot of changes to the garden in the last couple of days. Probably should just do a whole nother video on all of that. Still working on irrigation lines for everything. But yeah, there's a little bit of an update to show y'all here soon. All right, talk to you in a bit.